attending this evening. I know fourth year and final year engineering can be quite hectic this time of year. My name is Ciara Geary and I'm a graduate from UCC Electrical Engineering from 2007, and I'm a manager in Accenture. So just kind of I'm going to do a quick scan of the room. Hands up if you've ever heard of Accenture and not Accenture as people always think we are. Okay, so a good number of you. Okay, so hopefully a lot of what I'm about to say will be quite familiar. So what are we? What do we do? So what we do really is help organisations solve problems that they can't necessarily solve themselves. So you'll see there's a big list of really large organisations and governmental bodies in Ireland, and we work with all of these. We're actually working with Bord Gáis, or have been working with Bord Gáis and the Irish Water Mobilisation, which is really topical at the moment. We're in AIB, Bank of Ireland, Permanent TSB and Ulster Bank. So we're involved in all the financial institutions in Ireland at the moment. In revenue, we've had a long-standing relationship with them for the last 20 years or so. So what we do is, as I mentioned already, we help companies do things that they can't necessarily do themselves. So that's IT consulting. So you're out helping clients do things in terms of IT infrastructure, business change, design, org design, and also some software development aspects as well. So Accenture at a glance. So you'll see that we have tech consulting, technology solutions, management consulting, and analytics. So the analytics stream is quite a new implementation we've had in the last 2 years. It's been extremely successful, and it's really helping companies delve deeper into their data and understand trends. It's particularly important in the FS, financial services, and maybe insurance industries. And kind of maybe an example, being able to delve deeper in insurance companies to establish, fraudulent claims. Our two technology aspects, technology consulting and technology solutions. So I'm in technology consulting, as is Margaret, my colleague here. So that's really not from a software perspective or development perspective, but technology consulting is going out helping companies implement new systems or develop their data models or analyse trouble that they're having in terms of efficiencies within their business. Solutions then is maybe on the more development side, so software analytics. And then on our management consulting, this is kind of our real strategic stream, so looking at organisational change, business transformation, and operating model design. And then you can just see a couple of the clients within each of our areas. So I've predominantly been working in resources, with my engineering background. I really wanted to stay involved in the resources and utilities industry. So I've been working with Bord Gáis, EirGrid, npower in the UK over my 5 years with Accenture. But as you can see, there's such a variety of clients there, and there's only a couple up there. I was involved with working with AIB a number of years ago. So when you join, you're not siloed within any distinct area. You're very much free to move around, and it kind of really necessitates where demand is at the moment, or where demand dictates when you join what area you'll be involved in. So our main asset is our people. Anybody you talk to from Accenture, anybody says the best thing about it is the people you work with and the teams you work on. So it's a real team culture environment. When you join, you'll have kind of a start group, so a similar number of people starting at the same time. So you have an immediate peer group and people that you can link and touch base with and ask questions of. There's a wide range of social activities in Accenture. There's a dance club, an Irish club, surf club, there's like a rugby club, Gaelic football club, there's an event for everything. And then there's a number of events run out through the year, a lot of community activities, communities of practice that you can get involved in. I don't know if any of you heard this year, but the RBS Accenture Six Nations Rugby app, so that's something that we developed and went live this year. And I think even before the tournament began, I think it was 210,000, or the most popular sports download across the UK and Ireland, even before there was any match results for the Six Nations this year. So that's like really exciting, and that's kind of a true reflection of Accenture at work in developing new IT solutions. So if you were to join Accenture, from a consulting perspective, your start salary is 31,000, solutions is 28 and a bonus. over time, there is a nature of overtime in the business that we are in, and you get that paid, or you can elect to take that as additional annual leave. There is a fast-paced career model in Accenture. So I joined 5 years ago. Within 2 years of joining, you're eligible for a promotion to consultant, and then after 3 years, you're eligible for promotion to manager. So in the 5 years, I've made manager from an analyst level, just joining at the same level as yourselves from college. So if you're prepared to work hard and get involved, in 5 years you can see yourself there as a manager. There are a number of other benefits as well. There's a company laptop that you get on day one. There's a huge variety of training as well. I went to St. Charles in Chicago like 2 or 3 times a week at a time over the past 5 years. I know Margaret was in Bangalore for a month earlier this year. So there's a lot of either computer-based training or overseas training that's available if that's something that you're interested in. So who are we looking for? We take anybody, candidates from all backgrounds. We're looking for kind of those with analytical ability, and that's why we're here with you guys today. Kind of problem solvers, willing to change, adaptable, kind of clear communication skills, a good team player, and that's really essential. Given that a lot of our projects work in team environment, it's really important that you can effectively communicate among your peers and also reach out to people who, if you've got any questions or concerns. Leadership potential is another thing, that we can see that you're, someday that you could be, a manager, senior manager, or even a senior executive, or maybe even one day a country director. Everybody in Accenture is fairly driven and motivated, and you kind of have to be to get by in some ways. You're obviously willing to succeed, and in your career you have to take interest in your own career. Nobody's going to help you or make things happen if you don't want it yourself. In Accenture you're given a mentor after your first round interview to guide you through the interview process, and then you're also given a career counsellor. So once you're successful and in the business, let's say, you're given a career counsellor who kind of develops you and mentors you along the way. So outside of your project and your line manager, there's already someone you can reach out to if you have any questions in terms of training, or something wasn't working right, or you have a query and you don't necessarily want to go to your day-to-day line manager. So that's great. That's a great facility that we have. In terms of our minimum requirements, so from our consulting and analytics, it's a minimum of 400 Leading Cert points and an expected 2-1 in your degree. And then from a solutions perspective, it's 300 Leading Cert points and an actual or predicted of 2-2. So again, how do you apply? What do you need to do? So first off, if you have any questions, Margaret and myself will be around afterwards, but log on to accenture.com/Ireland graduates, and just to give you an insight, there's 15 questions that you need to complete in advance, or online, sorry, and they're kind of really what would you expect your day-to-day work to involve, what you think Accenture do, and a lot of it is in that brochure that we have outside. And if you have any additional questions, Margaret and I can help you along the way. And from a consulting perspective, there's 2 rounds. So your first interview will be with the manager, 45 minutes or so, and then your second round interview is a half-day assessment. So you have an interview with a senior manager, and then you have a case study exercise for about an hour or so with HR, and that's kind of really to get your teeth into a mini project, trying to understand what it is your day in the life of an analyst in Accenture is. And then your third round, or your third interview on the day, is with a senior executive of 45 minutes. The closing date is the 18th of November, and a kind of an important thing to note this year is that you can elect to not choose what area you're siloed into from your application. So here there's technology, management and analytics, as I already mentioned, but you can opt to be considered for all, and that might be the best option for you if you're not really sure what it is we do. And even if you have any questions on that, Margaret and myself are here afterwards, so we can chat to you then. Alright, thank you very much for your attention, guys.